We are going to be continuing on the additional examples and the programming exercises that we are having. And for this one, we are provided with a problem to accept relatively three inputs from the user: a country, a population, and a population growth per year. That is going to be just in percentage. And then we're going to show the forecast of that country for the population in that given year. So the idea is we are trying to do like a little bit of a survey, and probably anyone who's interested, by providing like the country and then a population and then probably like a percentage. They want to see immediately how much the population would be in that given year after that year ends, and probably that could be also for the internal usage. Like this probably like an intermediate problem that the other might be using. So based on like the growth, probably a kind of like a decision might be performed, or just any kind of like if there are anything that we have to do for the population based on like the number, then that can be performed. So we're going to be starting from the start. Let me steal that one as usual from here. We don't need this. All right, so for me, then I'm going to be just starting from the start, and we're going to be just going through and then ask for an input from the user. And what we do is we're going to be just enter country, population, and growth percentage. Right, and for all, we're going to be just having a country. So whatever the country that we are provided, we're going to put it on a country variable, and population, we're going to have it on a population, and we're going to have it on rate of growth. That's going to be just with simply rate. And from here, let's do that one. So we are starting from the start, and then we're going to be just using this display to accept a value that we are looking from the user. So from now onwards, then whatever when we want to address what country we are working on, then we're going to be just looking for a variable country. Then the population, that's going to be just given from the population on this one, and the rate is going to be just the percentage we're going to be just using. Now, since we're going to be just calculating like the total population, then we have to have like a little bit of calculation that we're going to be just doing on this one. It's not very tough, but just we have to do it anyway. What we do is we're going to we can do it like in two different ways. One, we can create our own variable that would show like the final population, what the final population would look like. That is one way. And the other one is we can also override the variable of the population and then add the value on the current population itself. So let's do it like one, and then I'm going to show you like what I mean. So let me start by having like the final population by creating like a new variable that would be holding that value. So let me have that one. I'm going to say final population, and this final population is going to be equal to population that we have accepted from the user. Let me use like a small f on this one. This is very common. Then we're going to be just adding the percentage increase of that population. So for that, what we're going to be just doing is we're going to be just adding rate times, then it's going to be just population, assuming that the rate is given in percentage. If they're given as like the rate, because like by default it's going to be just given, probably like by default it's going to be just given in percentage, like out of 100. So if that's the case, then multiplication might not work. Rather, we're going to be just doing rate divided by 100 times population is going to be the answer. So whatever the value that we are having, so let me have it over here. So whatever the value of the population that we get, so we're going to be just adding, because it's going to be just incremented by that. So we're going to divide, let's say if they give us like 20, then 20 by 100, that's going to just 0.2. 0.2 times population is going to give us like the final population. So this is one way that you can do that one, and then later we can use the population. The other one that I was mentioning is rather than just creating like a new, then you could have also use it on population like this one. So what it means is initially, let's say the population of the country we have given is, let's say, 10 million, and then let's say there is like a 1% of an increase. So we're going to be just using like 1 million on this one, and then 1 divided by just 100, that's going to be just 0.01, and then that's going to be just what we're going to multiply on a population, and the final value is going to be just added, or is going to be just overwritten on the population itself. In that case, the final output is different from like the current population because it has been incremented by 1. But you could do that as well. Just to make it like more clear, I'm going to be just using with another variable. Let's say final population or total, final population or total population after a year. That would work as well. Now after this, we're going to be just since we have already created this, then the next thing is going to be just to properly show the output that we are having. So we can say the country, and then we can say country. So if the country is given as XYZ, then like what the name of the country, let's say, is XYZ, then we're going to say the country XYZ will have a total population of, and then we're going to give like the final population, or I think it's better to give it like total population than final population. So let's call it total population and total population at the end of the year. Or we can simply say from a year from now. Right, so this is how we're going to do that one, and then of course we're going to be just doing. I'll use like the same thing on this one over here. Another one, and I can use this over here, and of course this one is going to be end. So we start by asking a country population and grows in percentage. So we got like the country population rate. And then we got the total population. We have to calculate that one, and that's going to be just using like the current population that we have been given, and then we're going to add like the rate by divided by 100, which is going to be like the percentage that we're going to be just getting, and then we're going to multiply it by a population that we're having. Just to avoid like any kind of confusion, we can make it with a parenthesis on this one, and that should fix it. And then from here, then we're going to be just giving back the output as the country. Let's say the country has been given as XYZ, and then the country XYZ will have a total population of, and then total population that we're calculated over here a year from now, and then we're done. So this is going to be just continued to perform it on that one. All right. So this is one example regarding like accepting more variables on this one. As you can see, we can have like more variables. We can create our own, and then we can do like our calculation over here, show that one, and then that would be the end of our project. Like the end of our problem. So with that, I'm going to conclude this one, and then I'm going to see you with another topic on the next video. I'll see you there.